is Hayden Clements. I've just been interviewed by Keith Andrew. He's the top bloke and an awesome guy. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. I am your host, Keith Andrew, along with Hayden Clements. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you for having me.
No, the honor is all mine. Now, the first question I want to ask you is usually I do my speech, but everyone has been hearing it for 7.5 years. So the first thing I want to ask you is you are an up-and-coming professional actor. With everything that you have done, what were some of your favorite accomplishments that you have accomplished?
The Master TV show. Oh, no, ad. So I had to dress up as like kind of like a Viking, like a warrior thing, and I had to get in like dressed up in like really heavy and hot leather costume, like with metal, and we had to run like yelling into a red Mazda car for the ad. And it was really fun. But then we did the ad one day and it was like 43 degrees and I had to put on like the really hot leather and fur, and like it was so hard to run when like you were just so sweaty in the inside and like it was so hot outside. Like so we had to cool down in the car with the cooling on full.
No, especially wearing all that gear on a, 130-degree day. That's like a heart attack waiting to happen. Now, with everything, trying to ask this, not the same questions, but what about Australia that you absolutely love, and what about Australia that could be better?
Well, the thing I like about I love about Australia is the nature and the oceans. And we have very deadly animals, so I prefer you not looking under wild rocks.
No, I know. The only thing that I know much about Australia is you guys have koala bears.
Yeah, we do. They're so cute.
And let's see, koala bears, kangaroos, and you have giant bugs.
Yeah, we have giant.
Yeah. What could you tell us about? What could you tell our viewers about the giant bugs? Like, do you like get a folding chair and hit the giant bugs, or like how do you deal with that?
Well, we just let them fly around and go out the door. Like once a giant bug comes in, we open every single door, every single window, and we just stay away. And I usually hide in a corner because they can't really go into corners. And I just wait until it flies out the door or window, and then I immediately run, close every single door and window. So yeah.
So I guess. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Spiders the most. Spiders are the ones that I don't really like, especially in my house. I've got like really scared of them. Like they got 8 legs, they're hairy, and they just do whatever they want in your house. So I get really scared.
No, I understand too. My family is afraid of spiders. Usually when I see a spider, I just suck it up as a vacuum. But
yeah.
Those giant bugs, I don't think you probably need like a giant vacuum or something.
Yeah.
Now, the next question I want to ask you is, have you ever done any voiceovers, and would you be interested in doing some?
Well, I haven't done any voiceovers, I don't think, but I would like to do one.
No, absolutely. I do a lot of fan-made parodies for fun, and if you're interested, you're more than welcome to do it for fun. And you also show your fans that you can do different voices the more you do something, the more practice that you give yourself and more confidence you can prove to them. So the next question I want to ask you, it's trying to find something, the fireworks are shooting off in my neighborhood. What did you do for the July 4th? I know the July 4th is more of an American holiday, but do you enjoy fireworks?
Yeah, I do. They're very loud, but they are so beautiful. Like, we go up to like a White Horse Theatre, like down the road from us, and we go there like when the fireworks are on, and we sit down on like with our family, and we watch them like shoot off into the air, and then they just explode, and it's so cool and satisfying. But they are very loud, so I usually cover my ears, or I just go from a far distance and watch them, like from a house or something.
Now, the next question I want to ask you, it's, and trying to find the words to phrase this. You have a slight disability, correct?
Yeah.
Now, with everything that you accomplish in your life, do you feel that you are well, first off, you are an inspiration, but do you feel that you inspire people with disabilities, kind of like what I'm doing? But being an actor, what are some of your words of wisdom to be a great actor? Do you passing over to you, I wrote, okay, let me rephrase that. Like I said, anything can happen live. And usually I don't do my interviews this way, so I'm kind of like having a brain fart. When I have when I do my talk show, I learn things at a slower pace. And because of that, I'm on the spectrum of, what I'm not going to say it, but everyone has heard it. Because if you read a script, it's kind of like this. Most people get a script and like, okay, you can read it a couple times or memorize it. For me, when I read a script or write something, I'm a horrible test taker. I hate taking tests. So when someone says to me, this question is, if you're at a four-way intersection, who has the right way to go? I would say, can you give me an example? Could you break it down? With you reading a script, can you memorize it 1, 2, 3, or would you have to give a couple examples?
Well, I'm terrible at memorizing, so the good thing about acting is they let me have like one of the people like hold the script behind the camera, so their words are big enough for me to see them, and like they're not in the photo or I meant video, or ad, and I get to read them while looking at the camera, and we get to do tons of takes, which is good.
No, absolutely. You know what's, it's not really haha funny, but it is funny that, Jackie Chan doesn't read a script. And he actually scares his castmates because everyone reads a script and they're like, they know what to say. They look at this guy like, what the hell is he going to say? I just say, oh, it's raining, it's wonderful, it's blue. Jackie Chan will just stand there with a complete deer in the headlights expression and just completely come out of left field. And it's like, oh, well, if the producer likes it, I guess it works. But I'm the type of person that I'm horrible at reading, but I'm really good at ad-libbing. So if we did like a scene together and you say like a part, I can just jump in right, actually point blank and say, okay, well, this is how I think. When you read a script, you have to get into the mindset, you have to fill out the character, and I'm not looking for shortcuts, but it's kind of always better. I said this in my very first interview. You kind of like what we're doing right now. It's kind of like acting. If you can have a great conversation and make it fun and entertaining, in a way, it's kind of like acting, but at the same time, it's not scripted. I don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what I'm going to say. So it's kind of like that little dialogue of ad-libbing for an example.
It is hard. But you gotta not give up, like, yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, because you are an I have had a brain fart. How many times did you brain fart tonight? You are an inspiration for anyone with a disability. So what are your, I know I said this before, I'm trying to act it a different way. When you do an act in scene, you can take hundreds of takes, but what motivation do you give yourself, or what motivates you to say, you know what, this is what I want, just power on through? What gives you that, I wouldn't say clarity,
Or
but
energy.
Determination.
Energy or determination?
yes.
Yeah.
I'm never going to give up.
Well, the first thing is never give up, even if you're like extremely tired. Keep on working through. And never give up, because once you give up, like, you don't get a second chance. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But you need to do it the one time and be proud of yourself.
No, absolutely. For me, when I do my show, like I said, I don't read a script. Everything that I do, it's pretty much, ad-libbing. I fill it out. Like you size up whoever you're talking to, but I'm a type of person who believes in energy. So if someone has positive energy about them, you can feel it. So it makes the conversation smooth. But there's other people where you kind of look at and they kind of have like negative energy, and you can see it, or they're kind of turn off, or they stand with their arms folded, or they're just not there. So that makes the conversations hard. I have interviewed people where I would, first off, God rest his soul. I don't know if you saw Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
No, I don't think so.
There was a villain named Lord Zed. His real name is Ron Axel. And we would talk about acting. Absolutely great. He had diarrhea of the mouth. He couldn't stop talking about acting. It was the most wonderful thing he can possibly do. But he wasn't really good at having a conversation as saying, for an example, how was life growing up? He'd be like, good, fine, okay. All right, okay. What about college? Good, fine, okay. I'm like, all right, it's been 10 minutes. I can't make this work. But you talk about acting, and he go on and on and on. But it's like, okay, what were some of your favorite things that you learned from acting? And actually, I'm going to ask you this. What were some of your favorite things that you learned from being an actor that you use in everyday life? His answer was, I was fine and everything. Okay. But for you, what would your answer be?
Well, you got to make lots of friends, have fun on set, and also you got to laugh a lot.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even if you make mistakes, you got to laugh at yourself.
No, I agree with you. Yesterday, I give you an example. I'm the youngest out of 4 brothers and 1 sister. And I said to my brother, he said to me, he keeps score of how many stupid things I say. I said to him, I don't have like an eating order, because I only eat 2 times a day. I have lunch, I have dinner, that's all I have. But I said to him, it's not my fault that I eat too much. And he stops and looks right at me and says, you know what? That has to be one of the stupidest things he ever says. Like, I'm eating this bagel right now, but it's not my fault I'm eating this bagel. But you have to laugh at yourself. You can't take things too seriously. if you do something stupid, it may be upsetting at the time, but it's a learning experience. As I said to your brother, you never do anything half-ass. And I am a bad example of that. My brother worked at one store for 13 years. He enjoyed it. For me, if that's how many jobs I had in 1 year. Yeah, that's a running joke with my family because I had diarrhea in the mouth. If someone tells you, okay, here's your script, go stack the shelves. So okay, that's all you have to say. Me, I have a brain fart where I'm like, well, I like to be in charge, and this is how it should be done. That's how it should be done. And like, what are you doing? You're not a manager. You're not in charge. They're in charge. Shut up and do what you're told. And for me, it's kind of like, I like, are you a wrestling fan?
Pardon?
Are you a wrestling fan? WWF, WWE?
Oh, not really, but I do like to wrestle with my brother. But to make it safe when we're wrestling with each other, we put mattresses on the floor or we wrestle on each other's beds.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was younger. That's one of my favorite pastimes. There's this wrestler, CM Punk, and he says he's straight edge. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He walks to the beat of his own drum. And in a way, I kind of relate to that because I have no filter. Yeah, your mom can probably vouch for that. And by the way, I do want to have your mom on the show. But I walk to the beat to my own drum, and I just, if it pops up and if it feels right, I don't think, for an example, if you're in a family situation and it's not the smartest thing to say at the time because you really have to think about it, for me, I just blur it out. So it's kind of one of those things where you are your own worst enemy. And that's something I'm coming to terms with where every day I'm constantly making myself better. I'm doing things to improve on myself. So what I would say to you, passing the show over to you, is do what you love, be happy, don't make waves, and if it's something you feel 100% passionate about doing, but absolutely do it. Don't do something, say, I really don't want to work here, but I really need the money. Don't do anything half-half. So if, walk into the situation, say, you know what, I'm going to work here for 6 months. I'm going to leave absolutely no stone unturned, but I'm going to do the best work that I can possibly do. And people will remember that. If you do something half-half, then you're going to be like, oh, okay, I know that person. But if you give like an acting role, and you put your heart and soul into it, people would say that person has potential and he is the right fit for any projects that we work on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to pass this show over to you. It's the last 2 minutes and counting. Was there anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you wanted to promote? This is your time.
That's really good advice.
That is very good advice. I always try to make people laugh, especially my brother and sister. I'm technically the clown of my family. I make minor mistakes sometimes. I learned how to do funny things like funny jokes.
Do you know any funny jokes?
Yeah, I'll tell you one now. How excited was the gardener about spring?
How sad?
So excited he nearly wet his plants.
Oh, how excited. I thought you said how sad. That was my fault. One of the actors I would recommend, you want to hear great jokes, it's Ronnie Davisfield. I'm butchering his name, but he's really great. One of the jokes was, okay, now you're putting me on the spot. One of the jokes was, my neighborhood was so poor that the rainbow came in all black and white. The other one was, my wife's cooking was so bad that the flies, while we're gathering, decided to fix my screen door.
Oh my.
The other one, Ed, this is one more time, pass it back to you. I said to my therapist, I have an ugly face. And he said, okay, so lay on the couch with your face in the pillow. I know it's stupid funny, but that's why it's so funny. He actually made his living on selling jokes to comedians. So if you want to look him up, it's Ronnie Davisfield. One of the best actors. Now, with that being said, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube?
I'm not on any of those except for Instagram. So, and my name is HFanHero10. So follow me.
And don't worry, it will be in the bottom of the screen, your Instagram name. And my last question for you, wrapping up. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest opinion? Well, actually, let me rephrase that. What was your first reaction to it? What made you say yes? And after being a guest, how do you feel now?
Well, I wanted to do it. And thank you for having me on the show.
No, absolutely.
And abilities can do anything.
I agree with that 100%. You put your heart into anything, you can accomplish that. Now, I am looking forward to part 2 down the road, and I do have a couple of questions for you off the air, but wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
I'm Linda Collins.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong. And
I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Wynn.
Hi there, my name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.